Okay, so are you ready to dive in?
Always.
Because today we're dealing with a bit of a mystery.
Oh, I love a good mystery. Lay it on me.
Two sets of poems, no titles, no author, just pages of raw emotion.
Wow. Sounds intense. And what's our mission today? To try and decode these poems, figure out the story hidden within the lines.
Exactly. It's like piecing together a message in a bottle, right? Trying to make sense of these fragmented feelings.
I like that analogy. So where do we even begin with something like this?
Well, the first poem is labeled Cadeau.pdf. Cadeau, meaning gift in French.
Interesting. So from the get-go, we're dealing with themes of giving and receiving. I'm intrigued already.
And it gets even more interesting when you dig into the language. The speaker keeps repeating comment, how.
Hmm. A sense of searching, perhaps?
Yeah.
A longing for something. Or someone?
Yeah, exactly. It feels like they're grappling with this overwhelming loss, trying to understand how to exist in a world that suddenly feels empty. Like they say, Je t'ai donné tout ce que j'avais. I gave you everything I had, and you can just feel the depth of their sacrifice.
Oh, absolutely. And there's this rawness to it. No holding back. You really feel the speaker's pain, especially in those lines. Tu as été tout ce que j'avais. Tu l'as emporté alors même que tu me baignais.
Wow. Yeah.
You were everything to me, but you took it all away, even while you were still with me. That's powerful stuff.
It's like they were so consumed by this other person that even when they were together, it wasn't enough. The speaker already felt their absence.
Precisely. It speaks to a love so absolute, so all-encompassing, that it almost becomes self-destructive.
And then there's this shift in the poem that I found really interesting. It goes from Je te donne, I give you, to Je te donnerai, I will give you.
Ooh, good catch. That's subtle but significant. What do you make of that? A glimmer of hope, perhaps?
Yeah.
A refusal to let go?
Right, it's like a promise whispered into the void, a love that persists even in the face of absence.
Haunting. It gives me chills just thinking about it.
Now let's look at the second poem, which is starkly titled Sans Nom 1 PDF Untitled 1.
So immediately, we're struck by a sense of anonymity, of something unfinished, undefined.
Yes. And compared to the outpouring of emotion in Cadeau, this one feels almost restrained, desolate.
It's interesting, isn't it, how grief can manifest in such different ways.
Totally. And the language reflects that too. It's sparse to the point. Like the line, Le ciel est noir, the sky is black, which is repeated throughout.
It's more than just a description of the weather. It's the bleakness of their grief coloring their entire world. Everything feels dark and heavy.
Exactly. And then out of nowhere, the name Vicky appears.
Oh, wow. Talk about a gut punch.
Right. It's jarring, like a sob escaping the speaker's lips, betraying the carefully constructed wall of composure.
And it makes you wonder, who is Vicky in all of this? Is she the source of this all-consuming love and grief?
I think it's safe to assume that she is a significant presence in these poems.
It would seem so, especially when you consider that both poems could potentially be from the same speaker's perspective. It's just a theory, of course, but the emotional arc seems to track, doesn't it?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, Cadeau feels like the raw, immediate aftermath of loss, full of anger and questioning.
Exactly. While Sanzam 1 suggests a quieter, almost defeated kind of despair, but with that flicker of hope still clinging on.
The way Je sais que tu viendras, I know you will return, is interwoven with C'est triste, se dire au revoir. It's sad. To say goodbye is just heartbreaking.
It's that push and pull of grief, isn't it? The desperate hope battling against the harsh reality of loss.
And the repetition of gift in the first poem, could that be a metaphor for the speaker's love itself? Something freely given, but ultimately a source of pain?
Oh, I like that. It adds another layer to the mystery, right? Was Vicky overwhelmed by the intensity of this love, or did it become possessive, even destructive? We don't know. And that's part of what makes these fragments so fascinating.
So many unanswered questions. Who are Vicky and the speaker? What really happened between them?
Were these poems meant to be read by anyone? Or are we intruding on a deeply personal expression of love and loss?
And maybe that's the point. Maybe the beauty of these poems lies not in finding definitive answers, but in the way they allow us to sit with these complex emotions.
Absolutely. To embrace the unknown. These fragments, like memories, may never form a complete picture, but they offer us a poignant glimpse into the depths of love and loss, reminding us that sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones left untold.
They leave us with more questions than answers, inviting us to reflect on our own experiences with love, loss, and the enduring power of memory.
Beautifully said.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep searching for those hidden connections, those fragments of feeling that connect us all.